Thanks to those joining me live and to those that'll be joining me on archive. DStyleBoxing. I was gonna do a video recording with my thoughts, but I said, you know what? Let me just go live and just do it this way. Call me lazy, call me whatever it is, but it is what it is. Um, you know, I have some thoughts I want to give about this fight, and I hope everybody tunes in tonight. That's Ringside Reporter Live is the channel. We already have the panel in place. We really don't have room for others now, but we have a loaded panel. So make sure you tune in tonight. Of course, you have Joe Habib will be the host tonight. We have Maestro. We have myself. It should be good enough, We have G Funky, of course, I believe 408. But as guest panelists, we also have Divine Sense. We also have Kenny Carway of ESPN Sacramento. We have Ring IQ. And if I'm forgetting one of the guests, then I apologize, but that's off the top of my head. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to having this discussion about the press conferences, about the fight. But thoughts are going to be a little condensed. So I wanted to do my own video and give my thorough, complete thought on this. And forgive me if you hear a lot of the same tonight, but it'll just be more condensed. Let me say this. I think a lot of us have allowed extremists and conspiracy theorists to hijack our genuine thoughts, our genuine feelings, our genuine just kind of perception of the fight we're about to watch on Saturday. And on this video, well, it's inevitable to be addressed. I'm going to just try to address the fight itself and give you my true, genuine thought. Let me be very transparent for those that are new, and feel free to subscribe, of course. Shout out to you guys in the chat. Feel free to hit the like button, like the video, share the video, and also, hit the notification bell so you're notified when I come on live. A couple of things. One thing I could say right now, right at the top of my head, let me try to set up a little bit here for this one. Shout out to Spanish Causing Panic. First of all, let me be very transparent for those that have already heard this, and it is what it is, but let me be transparent. I've never liked Tyson Fury. I've never liked him. I have videos where I said he was the most annoying guy and in boxing, blah, blah, blah. And I would like to think that when I watched his fights, however, or predicted his fights, that I was not influenced by whether I liked him or I didn't. However, the track record doesn't really show that. I get it, right? I picked against him when he was going to fight David Haye. That fight never happened, but in hindsight, he would have probably won that fight because he's better than I originally thought. I picked him against Vladimir Klitschko. I was wrong. I picked against him the first time against Wilder. I was wrong. I picked against him again in the rematch. I was wrong. I don't know really where to go from here, when it comes to Fury. Obviously, whatever scope I use or whatever measuring tool I use was wrong. Right? I mean, that's just like way off, obviously, because I never got it right, and a lot of people didn't get the rematch right either. You might have predicted Fury to win, but most of you had him by decision, right? So that was just something that nobody really, I can't say nobody, but very few saw coming, right? And those that say they saw it coming, I would like you to ask them to show your receipts, because many of them can't produce them, right? So I just wanted to start off by saying that, so you understand where I'm coming from, right? When I give my take, and of course, I'm open to altering how I feel about things and fighters, but I think it is the nature of Tyson Fury, how unpredictable he is, how crazy he is that makes him hard to read. It reminds me of a very, very good poker player, because when it comes to poker, the chance of you getting the card is the same for everybody, right? Just think about it. How many of you, raise your hand if you're watching this right now, believe that poker comes down to chance? That's about luck. Let me know if you believe that. Well, I could tell you poker is not about chance. Poker is a skill. The game of poker is a skill, right? Learning how to read the cards, and how to read percent, like how to look at percentages in your head and make calculations in your head of what probabilities are. You got to know all that. That's a big part of it. But then that can't be the only thing, right? I mean, that's very important when it comes to playing poker, but it's not the only thing. Because then mathematicians would be the best poker players on the planet, right? But it's not luck at all. Luck plays some role, but what it is how you act on the poker table. Do you know if that person is bluffing? Many win at the poker table without ever revealing their cards. So it never came down to what they actually had, but the perception of how you read them. And for whatever reason, I can't read Tyson Fury. I can't read him. I obviously I can't. Obviously, a lot of people can't either. I watch videos today, and I'm listening to people, right? And Fury looks scared. You see him? He was out of character. And I have no idea how anyone can possibly define the character of Fury. How anybody could possibly know if he's bluffing or not. And I don't know if I should take the word of individuals like myself who've never gotten a Fury fight right. And I'm talking about the highest levels, the championship fights. You've never read the man. You never have. So why should you? What reason do you have to believe that this time you totally are reading him? The same thing was said here on YouTube by Wilder fans, okay? That Fury was bluffing. Oh, he's full of shit, right? Second time, he's bluffing. Oh, come on. That's a bluff. People said it was a bluff. Fury had 4 aces, okay? He put all the chips in the middle of the table. And everyone at the table, including Deontay Wilder, laughed at him and said, okay, sure, brother. Sure, you have a better hand than that. Sure, you do. And he did. Now, some will say, well, maybe we should just take his word for it. I don't know. There's been times where Fury will say one thing and he does something else. There's been times where he says something and he does it, right? He is hard to read. And I think that's one of the reasons. I've overanalyzed the Fury experiment. I've overanalyzed Tyson Fury himself, right? I've allowed him to play this puppet game, right? And I believe there was reality. I fell for the smoke and mirrors. I fell for the sob story that he just isn't the same no more. He'll never recover, right? I fell for the idea that Wilder figured him out. Okay, almost had him out in the 12th round. He's going to take him out this time, right? I fell for all those things. All right? That's what I fell for. Right? So everything in boxing, right, like prior to that is about reading the mind, understanding the fighter in front of you. And I don't know how there's still people pretending that they know why Fury said something, why he's acting a certain way. I just don't understand it. I don't. Okay? And you have to ask yourself the same question. A lot of you said the same thing in the previous fight. That Wilder, he was acting irrational. He's rattled. Did you see how there's people on YouTube that have been saying that Wilder's been getting the best of Fury at every single verbal exchange. Every single action was a positive for Wilder, negative for Fury. They've been doing this fight after fight. At some point, you need to take a step back and say, just admit you can't read the guy. I can't read him. I just can't. I can't sit here and pretend that I know what his motive was, or whether someone got under his skin or not, or whether he's doing it on purpose, or whether he's sincere with what he's saying. I don't know. I don't know. Right? So that's number one that I want to put out there. I think a lot of people are going to analyze the press conference. They're going to analyze the exchange. If you're a Wilder fan, they're going to say Wilder, he got him there, and he made a good point there, and Fury was shook, right? He was nervous. And then you're going to have Fury fans. They're going to say, he got the best of Wilder. Wilder didn't have an answer to this and that. He stood there and you looked at him, right? And he was looking down at his phone. That's a sign of this and that. Okay, you can try to discern anything however you fucking want. None of you have it down pat. Nobody. Because nobody saw what happened in the rematch coming. And I do believe that what happens in this third fight, right? Nobody really knows. All of you are nervous, okay? Everyone's projecting. Everyone is acting like they know for a fact. Everyone's being, okay, you're overcompensating for the fact that you're nervous by overly stating how confident you are. I'm calling everybody's bluff at this poker table. I think most of you are just full of shit. That's what I think. Me, I'm excited for this fight. And I know a lot of you are not excited for this fight. I know a lot of you are nervous for this fight. All right. I could sense it. I can feel it. Okay. I can. I could feel it. I could sense it. I could almost taste it. Right. A lot of you are nervous. You have nervous energy. You're looking for companionship around the ecosphere that is YouTube, with people that agree with you, to give you confirmation bias, to console each other. That's what a lot of you are doing. All right. The Wilder fans know he can lose. Fury fans know he could possibly lose as well. All right. All of you are bluffing. All right. Me, I'm excited for this fight. That's what I am. I am excited for this fight. I can't wait for this chapter to end. That's number one. I can't wait for this fight to happen. And regardless of what happens, there will be a feast for crows after the fight, one way or another. And it's going to be fascinating to witness. That I could promise you. Now, somebody say, well, DStyle, you're going to have some crow. Like, I'm going to have like normal crow to eat. Like I picked the wrong guy to win the fight, crow. A lot of you out there have made it more than a boxing fight, though. And this is the last time I'm going to address this before I get to my prediction. All right? A lot of you have made this about, like, I made it like a racial war, right? About blacks versus whites. A lot of you have made it about, a white king versus a black king. A lot of you have made it uncomfortable, to be fair and honest, right? And a lot of you have took it to places that it never needed to be taken to. And then there's some that maybe they don't make it about race, but they do make it about something else, right? They make it about how this is a trial. Like, Fury's on trial to prove that he didn't cheat in the second fight. Right? Like you made it about something else entirely. Entirely. A lot of you have even gone out of your way to say that this is not just a boxing fight. This is about, white supremacy. It wanted to reestablish itself and dominance, or whatever you're talking about. I mean, I'm sorry to say this, but boxing just isn't that important anymore. Like boxing and being the heavyweight champion doesn't mean what it meant in the late 1800s and early 1900s. It just doesn't mean that anymore. Boxing isn't mainstream anymore. This fight will be trending for like a night and that's it. White supremacists are not scheming behind the scenes trying to give us a white heavyweight champion. It is ridiculous to think that. You are at another wavelength and you're talking about some other shit that has nothing to do with the fight. Nothing. And you're giving yourself this extra stress making it about that. Because it's not about that. It's not. So with that said, let's proceed to the fight itself. Deontay Wilder has changed trainers. He now has Malik Scott in his corner. They have a new quote-unquote philosophy. Malik Scott claims that they went to the toolbox of Deontay Wilder and he took out his tools, right? And now have added more weapons to his arsenal, right? With the weapons he already had. Now, let me make sure everybody understands this. That's true about any fighter, okay? So that it is what it is, right? So a lot of people are acting like Malik Scott said something unbelievable, but that's true about every fighter, okay? It's true. But, okay, that's what he's done. Obviously, Tyson Fury is still with Sugar Hill. Kronk Gym. Kronk philosophy. Offensively minded, right? So that's what we're looking at here. We are looking at a situation where one guy is saying to himself, well, I don't have a reason to improve. I don't have a reason to change anything. I have two ways I believe I've already beaten him. So he's the one that needs to make an adjustment, a great adjustment, in order to counter what I did. And that makes logical sense. All right. It's like that old, if it's not broke, don't fix it philosophy, right? Which is true in most cases, but there's nothing wrong with anticipating, right, what your opponent's going to do so you're ahead of them. You don't wait till they actually counter you in order to make an adjustment. You can make an adjustment preemptively, right? Now, I don't know whether Fury has done it or not. I don't know if Fury's just saying these things, that he's a one-trick pony, but in secret is preparing for a Wilder that's going to go to the body. And none of us know this, okay? We just don't. None of us know. But what I will say, I think what people have forgotten is the threat, and the very real threat, that Deontay Wilder is in this fight or in any fight. And I'll be 100% honest. It's actually kind of frustrating listening to a lot of boxing minds that I respect completely and utterly just count Deontay Wilder completely out. I'm not saying that to favor him. I'm not saying that to predict him to win. But to act like that's it. Wilder's already done what he could possibly do, and that's it. It's over. He can't possibly win. That is crazy to me. And I believe I know why this happened. If you go back, right, we all know what the second fight did to a lot of Deontay Wilder fans. Not all of them, but a lot of them became conspiracy theorists. They went mad, in my opinion, right? Started talking about egg weights in gloves with no proof. Okay, they started talking about all this crazy shit. Right? That's what it did to them. To a lot of Tyson Fury fans and a lot of people that just never liked Wilder to begin with. Okay, All the second fight did was give them confirmation bias that Wilder was always a trash fighter. Because there's people that believed he was a trash fighter before the second fight. Okay? And I don't subscribe to that at all. Let me give you a hypothetical. Let's say the same fight, second fight, right? Rounds 1, 2, and 3 are exactly the same, hypothetically, right? Let's say like first round went exactly the same, second round exactly the same, third round exactly the same, and then Fury lands a shot as Wilder is ducking, right? Very similar, by the way, to how Wilder knocked down Fury in their first fight, by the way. Just want to throw that out there. But kind of ducks low. Fury's already swinging, and he lands a shot like in the back of the ear, close to like the back of the head, kind of in the middle of that part. Lands right there, drops Wilder. Wilder obviously believes, like, he doesn't know what just happened. He even looks at the ref, right, and complains. But he gets back up, and he's clearly not all there anymore. The fight was over when Fury dropped him then and there. That fight was over right there. I get that from that point on, that fight went from a competitive but clear, you could clear to see Fury was getting the best of it, but it was competitive at least. And there was still the threat of the right hand of Wilder that Fury was clearly still aware of, right? It went from that to a complete and utter destruction. Wilder was getting beat down from pillar to post, from rope to rope. He was stumbling. He was off balance. He wasn't all there. Okay? There was clearly, and by the way, stop trying to convince me or argue with me. This isn't about you. If you don't like what I'm saying, leave. Okay? This is my prediction video. You could go make your own videos. I do plenty of lives where I go back and forth with people. People come on and listen to my predictions, so shut up. Okay? That's the last time I'm going to say it. So I won't do anything. I'll just ignore you. I'm just letting you know. Save your breath. Save your type. All right? He was getting beat down from pillar to post. The fight was over, guys. So what's the hypothetical, D-Style? The hypothetical is, let's say Fury lands that right hand, drops Wilder, and Wilder's out. Knocked him out. Let's just hypothetically say he knocked him out, right? Cold. The ref counts at 10, doesn't beat the 10 count. He's out. You know what I mean? Nothing that happened from the rest of that third round, the fourth, the fifth, the sixth, and the seventh, the towel, none of that ever happens. Let's just hypothetically say that never happens. I want you to just kind of imagine that for a little bit. All right? And forget the whole, like, oh, but Wilder can't do it. He can't knock out my king. Like, I don't give a fuck about any of that crap. Just hypothetically, let's just say that happened. I do believe, because to me, that's literally what happened. The fight was over. The Wilder that got back up and was off balance and his equilibrium was off and he was stumbling and hanging onto the ropes at times, and you know what I mean? Like, that Wilder was not Deontay Wilder. That was a shell of himself that was halfway there. Boxing is all about balance, ladies and gentlemen. Like, if you don't have balance, you could barely walk. Imagine trying to fight a fucking bear like fucking Tyson Fury. Just try to imagine that. So anyone who includes in their analysis, right, rounds 4 through 7 is, in my opinion, crazy to have that in their analysis. Oh, but in round 4, he dominated. He dominated round 5, and he dominated round 6, and he dominated round 7, and he would have dominated the rest of the fight. Okay, but like the fight was over in the 3rd round. He landed the knockout blow. He didn't knock him out unconsciously, but he got up and he wasn't all there. That was no longer Deontay Wilder. I honestly believe that. Right? I'm talking about how what happens from round 4 to 7 is only relevant if you're telling the story of the second fight. Of course, Fury gets credit for it because it's what happened. But is it relevant when we're talking about the trilogy? Is it relevant when we're doing an analysis of how the 3rd fight's going to go down? In order for that to be valid, he would have to hurt him the same way again. How likely is that? Because he couldn't hurt him like that again, even when he was off balance. He knocked him down again. He landed a body shot, and when I look at that, he tripped over the foot of Fury. I guess, but that's not like it wasn't the same thing. He never knocked him down again. Just ask yourself why. Why didn't Tyson Fury knock down Deontay Wilder again after he knocked him down the first time, and when he got back up, he was no longer the same? And is that likely to happen again? And if it's not likely to happen again, we're talking about odds. What's the likeliness that he drops him or knocks him out when he couldn't do it when he was off balance? Granted, by his creation, by his hands. But what are the odds that happens again? What are the odds? You have to ask yourself, what are the odds that Tyson Fury hurts Wilder early in the fight again to the point where he's off balance for the rest of the fight? And what are the odds that he could actually stop him earlier than he did the last time? The closest fight I have an example of, and the reason I picked Joshua to beat Andy Ruiz in the rematch, because I found it unlikely that Ruiz was going to hurt Joshua again the way he did in the 3rd round of their first fight. Especially when I saw how out of shape Ruiz was. That's what made me flip my pick. I say, you know what? This dude ain't gonna be able to keep up with Joshua. Joshua's gonna move around the ring. He's gonna make sure that haymaker, that hook that landed in the 3rd, that throws equilibrium off, doesn't happen again. Because just like in that Ruiz fight, let me tell you something, Joshua was not Joshua from rounds 4 on. So to me, it's unlikely, not impossible, unlikely that we will see a stoppage in this fight. That's just how I feel. Okay? I do believe this will be a tougher fight for Fury than the second fight. I do believe that Wilder will win some rounds in this fight. How many, I'm not sure, but he'll be competitive in more rounds than you think. Okay? I do believe people have thrown away the first fight like it's irrelevant when you could definitely go back and study that fight. Right? And everyone is stuck on this second fight where we only saw Wilder for who he was for 3 rounds. Again, yes, at the hands of Fury. But how likely is it that it happens again? I don't think it's very likely. I don't. Why don't I think it's very likely? Because it didn't happen while Fury had him already hurt. That's why. Now, yes, he could beat him up with accumulation, other ways, but this idea that he's going to go in there and smash him in 2-3 rounds, I'll be the first one to come on here and say, you know what, I was wrong. Shit, he did go out and destroy Wilder in 2-3 rounds. I'll be extremely surprised. Extremely surprised. Now, when it comes to Deontay Wilder, I am worried about one thing for the guy. That's if he's thinking too much while he's fighting Fury, right? Like, okay, we worked on this combination, so let me throw the right to the body right now, and then like he ends up getting like countered upstairs, and because Fury does a lot of things instinctively, right? So you need to do things instinctively as well, and I'm just not sure he's going to be able to do that. I think Fury's going to start aggressive, knees high, run straight at Wilder. I think they're going to have some exchanges. I think Wilder this time will show more resistance towards Fury. Since he's not going to get, I don't believe will get hurt early in the fight again. The resistance will continue for longer. And then I think Fury will resort to what he did in the first fight. From the 5th or 6th round on, Fury getting his back foot. He'll start utilizing his jab and just start outboxing Wilder, right? And I think somewhere around late in the fight, there'll be a scary moment for Fury. I think Wilder will catch him with something big. There'll be a big moment. Fury will survive that moment. All right. And then he will finish the fight. And I got Fury winning this fight by unanimous decision. I don't see a knockout in this fight. I know a lot of people keep saying, oh, it's going to be a stoppage. He's going to destroy him. The skinny legs. He's going to smash him. Okay. Well, look, he had plenty of rounds to knock out Wilder cold, right? When Wilder was off balance by his doing again. And I think people need to understand, okay? And that's that, okay? So I do think the fight went by decision. 8 rounds to 4, something like that, for Fury. I don't even think we're going to get a knockdown in this fight. Just being honest. I don't think we're going to get a knockdown in this fight. And when people say, oh, well, they've been in the ring with each other. Well, yeah, it's true. They're very familiar with each other, right? So we will see. Now, with that said, that's my prediction. That doesn't mean that's not going to happen, or that's literally the definition of a prediction. Because since none of us know what's going to happen, we predict what will happen, right? So for smart asses like 92 are cool. You know what I mean? Out there, you know what I mean? I will say this though. Don't count Deontay Wilder out. Don't do it. Don't let the Glovegate conspiracy theorists make you hate Wilder so much that you're blind to the fact that he could possibly win, right? Just don't do that. It's possible. In fact, it would be ironic to see Wilder land something big on Fury and then Fury's off balance, and just so you could see how Fury will start getting beat down, and you know what I mean? Just so you could witness that, right? So it's what it is. But while my official prediction is that it'll be Fury by unanimous decision. That's my official prediction. That's the official D-Style prediction, right? What I'm saying is that a knockout by Wilder is possible, right? It's possible. Not likely in my opinion, but possible. And by possible, I don't mean like I guess anything is possible, but I mean a legitimate 30% chance of happening. Okay. Now, HLD said something interesting. He says, I still saw Fury take several Wilder's right hands, bombs, no effect in the first 3 rounds. Let me tell you something. Let me ask everyone a question. What's the punch that Marquez kept landing on Pacquiao for 3.5 straight fights? What was the number one weapon that Marquez kept landing on Pacquiao? The right hand. Okay. Marquez went 3 fights and never even knocked Pacquiao down. Okay. What happened in the fourth fight? He knocked down Pacquiao. Then he knocked him out with the straight right. But why is that? I mean, he landed so many right hands even before that, and none of those knocked him out. Well, there is a point. It's kind of like the game of Russian roulette. Maybe the bullet doesn't always come out of the chamber, but there's a chance that it will. Okay? There's a chance that it will, but we're talking about probabilities, not chance, right? Because nalgas flacas just make the statement, come on, dude, with that logic, anything is possible, right? I'm not talking about possibilities, okay? I'm not talking about what's possible, right? I'm talking about how likely is it to happen, right? The only reason I said that was because people are using the whole, why he landed the right hand already and he didn't knock him out. So, like, well, like this idea that every single right hand that Wilder lands is going to have the same effect on Fury is crazy to me, right? What if he lands the right hand a split second faster? Or Fury has a split second less to react to the right hand? What if his body is not in the right position when he takes the right hand? What if he doesn't see a right hand coming this time? Not every scenario is the same. Not every scenario is the same. And what we do know is that Wilder is a monster puncher. Fury himself will tell you this. Is Fury capping? We know, like, he landed several rights on Fury in the first fight, but there was a one right that dropped him, right, in a 12th that laid him out for a good 7 seconds. He beat the 10 count, right? But he got, like, but don't forget that one dropped him, other ones didn't. Because it's not just about the right hand being thrown and the right hand landing. It's the circumstance in which, when it lands, right? How much of it did he roll? How much of the blunt force did he take? Was he moving in this, a forward motion when it landed, right? We've all seen with our eyes that he's dropped him twice. So to scoff and act like it can happen is crazy to me when we have visual evidence of him dropping Fury already. It's not just pie in the sky shit. Did you not see him already drop him? It is delusional to act like he can't possibly drop him again. And it's delusional to act like he hasn't landed the perfect right hand, right? The more times you fight a puncher, the more opportunities you give him to land the perfect punch. That's just true. That is just true. What if the perfect punch lands this time? I'm going to be honest with you. Fury's going to sleep. Night. Okay? There won't be no need to have a debate about the 10 count. He'll be laid the fuck out. The perfect right has not landed on Fury yet in 2 fights. Now, you could say, wow, because Fury's defense is great. It is. But the perfect right hasn't landed yet. What if this time, whether it's luck, whether he sets it up, I don't think there's such thing as luck in the sport like that. Not at this level. Wilder didn't get lucky twice, okay, in the first fight. Lightning is not going to strike twice in a boxing fight, okay? It's not. And before Wilder was hurt, because you guys are right when you say, oh, you already took right hands in the first 3 rounds before Fury dropped them, right? Well, he landed some right hands before he dropped them in the first fight too. But the right hands were landing harder in a rematch in the first 4 rounds than they were in the first fight. What would have happened if Wilder was never out of the fight? Because he was knocked out by Fury, nobody would be talking about how, well, you couldn't find the right hand again in rounds 4, 5, 6, 7, right? Well, no, because he was off balance, and everyone knows, especially a punch is going to have to sit on the punch. He's going to need balance to shoot accurate punches, right? I feel like I'm trying to like talk sense into people. It's what I feel like. You know what I mean? I feel like people are ignoring an empirical fact that of what we saw in the first fight. I agree with most that Fury won the fight. I thought he should have won. But I think people over exaggerate, in my opinion, by how clearly he won. I think people exaggerate very much. All right. So look, I'm in no way, shape, or form. Okay, I know somebody said like one by no surprise who said it, but oh, you're capping and you're this and you're that. Like I get it. You want to hear somebody just talk, and you just want to hear insults thrown at Wilder. You want me to say Wilder has no shot, and Fury, is gonna just dominate him and destroy him. And look, anything could happen in boxing, right? Honest to God, I think a lot of you are acting this way, and it's a defense mechanism. That's what it is. I see it in the Wilder side. They don't want to hear about how Fury legitimately beat him in the rematch. They don't want to hear about how he could possibly win again. I get all that. But it is true that in the Fury side, I hear a lot of, no! He dominated him. Did you see him? Did you see round 5 when he just dominated him? Like, okay, it is what it is. Like okay, if that's the hill you want to die on, go ahead. That's what I've always said. I really hope Fury isn't as convinced as some of you. That's all I'll say. Because the day of reckoning, a feast for Crow, is coming on Saturday night. It is. And one side or the other is going to eat it. You know what I mean? Like, it's just the way it is. It's just the way it is. Something's going to happen. In fact, what if it's a close fight? What if it's like a controversial decision? What if that happens? I don't know. It's time for a fourth fight. A lot of people think I'm joking, right? A lot of people believe that I'm joking about this, but we might see a fourth fight. Puro Sul Central. How's it going, brother? Chief Funky, how's it going? So I just wanted to kind of lay out my thoughts here. Let you all kind of think about it. Official prediction: Wilder unanimous decision, around to 8-4 decision at the end of that fight. That's my official prediction. That's what I believe. That's what I believe will happen. I'm not saying that's what's gonna happen, because I guess none of us know 92. Although I know Crawford's gonna beat the fuck out of Porter. That I do know. Right? In fact, that prediction that I'm not gonna do a prediction video for that one. I'm just gonna do the post fight tomorrow for that fight. Just get out of the way. Okay? What if it's a draw? Then all you motherfuckers lose. Okay? Then you all lose. Right? Simple as that. Lennox was best to say now I'm predicting Wilder. I never said I predicted Wilder. Like, here's the problem. You know what the problem is? And I'm not saying you, Lennox, was best. Whatever you mean by that. That I'm predicting Wilder to win. I never said that. You know what the problem is? There's like these two fan bases got this like tribalistic mentality that, like, if you even suggest that Wilder has a shot, like, no, it doesn't. You're capping. You're going for Wilder. You want Wilder to win, right? If you just suggest that Fury could win their fight, oh no, you're going against my king, and oh no, like goddamn, it's not like you can do an analysis. I'm just giving you my analysis. I'm just giving you like the possibilities that I believe could happen in this fight. That's all I'm doing. I'm giving you my official prediction. And then I'm kind of going over the probabilities here. Like this idea that Wilder has no shot and cannot hurt Fury and can't drop him is crazy because we already seen it happen. Oh, he's already landed the right hands. Okay, but like this idea, you don't think he can land a better right hand? It takes 1 second, guys. Turn the fuck up. So that's all I'm saying. And let me end it with this, and I'll say this now to the roundtable, but a lot of you hate it. I know a lot of you don't like this feeling, like you don't, but me, I love that like the butterflies. I'm gonna get in my stomach, and they're both facing each other, ding ding, and they're about to fight. Oh man, I can't wait for that moment. I'm excited for this fight. I am. I'm excited. Okay, like whatever like god damn, like I'm hoping it's a great fight. Right? Simple as that. Now Puerto Rican rum. He says being objective in boxes has died. Now you're called a fence sitter. Now there is a such thing as being on the fence, right? And I think sometimes it's okay to be on the fence. If you want to say, look, I know who's going to win this fight. Yeah, that's cool, right? Well, you're right. A lot of people call that fence, like when you're giving an analysis and like, you know what I mean? Like they call it fence sitting. Even though, look, again, I'll repeat it. My official prediction, the most likely scenario I see, the only prediction I get credit for is if Fury wins by unanimous decision. That's it. If Fury wins in any other way, I only get half credit. I don't get full credit, okay? If it's a thin, close fight, I still lose some credit because I said Fury 8-4, okay? I don't know how else to put it to you guys. If Wilder wins, I don't get credit, okay? I gave you my prediction, but it's okay to acknowledge possible realities, all right? It's okay to just accept it. Like it's not like Wilder has a shot to win. No, like what do you mean? Why not? All right, why not? In fact, when people give their predictions, they're giving you what they believe is the most likely outcome. That's all a prediction is. It's a prediction. It's our hypothesis. And then our hypothesis is put to the test when the fight happens, right? And either we're correct or we're not. And that's it. Cool? Jesus Christ. So, tune in tonight. But let me say this, man. I'm excited for this fight. I love it. Like, you know what I mean? I love it. I can't wait for this fight. There's some people out here that are already packing their bags. They're preparing for the exit. They're capping out here on the internet, okay? Pretending like they're confident when I know they're not, okay? And they just reek of it. They reek of it on the way they talk, all right? The way that they're looking for like emotional support around their community here on YouTube. And I'll tell you right now, I don't give a fuck, okay? I'm just telling you that right now. I don't give a fuck. All right? As simple as that. Me vale verga. I never liked Fury. Like let me just tell you something. There's going to be a feast for crows. I don't give a fuck who wins, okay? And Wilder knocks the fuck out, I'm going to enjoy watching the knockout, and then I'm going to be like, yo, what happened? I thought you guys said he had no shot to knock him out. To the extreme fan base. You know what I mean? If and when Wilder loses, I'm going to turn around and say, well, what happened? I thought you guys were confident that he was going to knock him out. You know what I mean? So whatever happens, happens. And yes, of course, if Wilder knocks out Fury, you're going to have the fanatics, okay? You're going to have the fanatics, saying, like, what? Like, oh, see, Glove Gate's real. Like, no. You got to provide me with some evidence that it was real. What happened in the third fight is a different event. It's not proof of anything. Okay. Now, Maestro is already saying I'm hedging my bets. No, I'm not. I'm not hedging my bets. Hedging a bet means I would say something like, look, my prediction is that Fury will win or that Wilder will win. Which I know it sounds ridiculous, but there's people that do that. Right? They don't say it that obvious, but you know what I mean? My official prediction, once again, let me say it very slowly for Maestro, okay? My prediction is that Tyson Fury will win by unanimous decision, something like an 8-4 scorecard. Anything less than that, I start losing credit. For example, if it's a split decision, it could have gone either way, even if it goes to Fury, I lose some credit because that wasn't my prediction. My prediction was that he would win at least 8 rounds. Okay? If Fury wipes him out 12 rounds to nothing, and Wilder lands nothing significant and gets outboxed and embarrassed for 12 straight rounds, I will only get credit for the winner, but I will lose credit because I said Wilder would win 4 rounds. You see what I'm doing? Nobody's got the balls to do it. Everybody just likes to, like, everyone likes to, like, when they pick a fighter, right? And then that fighter wins, and then they come on, they act like they're Nostradamus and shit. Like, oh, I knew I was gonna get it right. Yeah, I told you. And like, well, yeah, but the fight went nothing like you did. Okay, so let me give you an example. Lomachenko Nakatani. I told everyone and their mother that Lomachenko was gonna stop Nakatani. That's what I said. He's gonna stop him. No, Nakatani's a samurai warrior. If Teofimo Lopez couldn't stop him, what makes you think that this guy wouldn't stop him? Well, what happened? Lomachenko stopped Nakatani, right? And then everybody wanted to give me all this credit. And you know what I did? When nobody else does this. So never accuse me of hedging shit. Not even you, Maestro, nobody. Okay, because I got receipts on this bitch, okay? I came out and I said to myself, and I told everybody, no, watch out with the credit now. Because yes, Lomachenko won. Yes, he stopped Nakatani, but he didn't stop him the way I said he would stop him. I said he was going to beat his torso up. He was going to stop him with body shots. He didn't stop him with body shots. All right? So that's how predicting works. You have to be accurate, and you lose some credit depending on how far off you are from that prediction. As simple as that. Okay? As simple as that. And I invite anybody, okay? I invite anyone to start doing that. Tell us who's going to win and what manner are they going to win, and be a little specific about the way they're going to win. So if you tell me he's going to win, okay. Tell me, is it knockout? Okay. Is he going to knock him out cold? Is it going to be stoppages on cuts? Is it going to be with body shots? How? Explain to me how he's going to do it. Okay, he's going to win by decision. Okay, is it going to be a close decision? Is it going to be competitive? Is he going to win? Like, give me some rounds, 8-4. Like, how do you got it, right? You have to be like, I'm tired. I am tired of hearing people, because Master's bringing up hedging. This is how people hedge their bets. Oh, I got so-and-so winning by decision, but I could totally see so-and-so winning by knockout too, though, for sure. And then the fight happens, their official prediction doesn't happen, and then they're like, but I told you could knock him out. I will say right now that if Wilder knocks out Fury, even though I'm saying he has a shot to do it, it's not my most likely scenario, so I don't get any credit for it. It's as simple as that. Okay? Simple as that. The Dawn in the building. Have a beer on me, HCP. They got him. My official prediction, Wilder by KO. Interesting. Okay? Interesting. No, I didn't. In fact, that's not what I said at all. Lennox was best. I understand that you're trolling, but one thing I will not tolerate is people lying on me. Okay? So if you're going to say something like that, you have to JK, or that you're just joking, or not really, or like you got better add something to it. Because I'm not going to tolerate people lying on something I said. I own up on the things I say. I always have. Point blank, period. I'm just putting that out there. He said it was a joke. Okay, good. All right. People get all weird about another man's opinion. It's weird, says Appletite. Well, I think it's time to start holding people accountable with their predictions, right? Just like when Fury knocked out Wilder, very few have produced receipts that they predicted Wilder to come out aggressive and stop him, right? I want to see the receipts. Okay. Oh, I knew you was going to do that. Okay, where's your receipts? So look, if you feel Wilder's going to go in there, smash him, take him out of 3-4 rounds, say it. Like, be bold, say it, say that's what's going to happen. But if Fury wins decision, I don't want you on the internet bragging like you won. Okay? I'm just saying. Because what you predicted didn't happen. I'm just saying. If you're predicting Wilder's going to knock him the fuck out, okay? And even if Wilder wins a decision, you can't come out here and brag like you own the world. You're only half right. You know what I mean? If you predicted Wilder by stoppage, you got the receipts, then you actually have the right to say, I predicted him to win by stoppage, right? But you're one of a few. I'm just putting that out there. Salute El Capitan, getting my prediction in, Fury by stoppage. Oh, we'll see. We will see. I agree with that, Perfect Realm. The perfect look, no one is willing to eat crow anymore. No one, like, people will make up conspiracy theories, and it's crazy, right? People like they'll disappear. Like, people do crazy shit. Not me. I'm still here, ladies and gentlemen. I'm gonna be here for a long time, and I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm not gonna lose sleep over this fight, like a lot of you are. A lot of you are losing sleep. You know what I mean? A lot of you are losing sleep. I do agree with you, Chicano. I mean, look, he couldn't continue. That's a TKO. It goes in as a knockout. You know what I mean? So, if that's what you mean. And I also predicted something very specific. I do think Wilder will catch Fury with a really good right hand in this fight. I don't think it's going to take Fury out. I think Fury will hang on. He'll survive. And then he'll kind of get back into the swing of things. But I think that's going to happen. My opinion. And a lot of people are going to shit their pants when that happens. All right. So, enjoy the fight. Be ready for this fight. I want many out there to know that the stakes aren't high for me. I mean, I'm just looking forward to the fight. And let me tell you a fight where the stakes are high for me. I'll name you one right now. I'll name it to you. When Canelo fights Plant. And it's not because I think it's going to be a close fight, because I don't. But that's a fight where I really want to see Canelo win. Because I am sickened by the fake praise a lot of you are giving Plant. Pretending that he's this fighter that really hasn't proven he is. And talking about how he's got the sauce. Okay? Well, we will see. I guess we'll see. You know? So, only then. We'll talk then. With that said, guys, Roundtable tonight. Do not miss it. Should be interesting. I'm out. Peace.